Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Let's get into it. If you're thinking that anything else is as important as today's FOMC meeting and the Q&A session with Fed Chair Powell thereafter, nah, there's nothing more important. That is what's important. I've told you for a while that what I'm expecting is a hint at only 2 rate cuts, meaning less than 3. That would be a confirmation for most people. For me, yeah, I think that's a definite thing. Now, here's where it could get a little hokey. If he says anything about timing, frankly, I just think he's going to be hawkish all the way around. But if he definitely says there are only going to be 2 instead of 3, you're going to see the market dip. If you hear him be hawkish at all, you're going to see the market dip even more. I'm looking at today's Fed meeting as an opportunity, as a buy the dip kind of moment, right? If you're looking at Bitcoin right now, people are thinking, oh, it's affected by CZ getting arrested and having to serve 4 months. No, we'll get into that in a little bit. We actually got deep into it last night during the members only meeting. You guys should really join. That's a really good meeting. Anyway, when I'm looking at Fed Chair Powell and where he's at and where the economy is, he's in a really hard spot. He's in a really, really, really hard spot. He's trying to fight inflation, but under the veneer of inflation is this thing called greedflation, where companies are making so much in profits, but it looks like it's inflation. When you have food stores making more money in 2023 than they did in 2022, you know that is not inflation, because they'd be sharing some of those price gouges, right? But they're causing the price gouges. They're causing everybody to think that it's all inflation. It's not. It's greedflation. But meanwhile, Fed Chair Powell's got to fight that. He's got to fight that as a big picture, inflationary move kind of thing. So yeah, I'm not expecting any dovishness. I'm expecting hawkishness. And if I'm expecting, hawkish speak from the Fed chair, I'm expecting the market to take a hit. You want to know what confirms the market is going to not do so well? When you have companies like McDonald's come out and say, yeah, the lower end income person is not spending as much. Gee, I wonder why. If you look across all of the businesses like that, Jamie Dimon was right? He said it before. He's looking at it. He's looking at real-time data. The Fed has got to look at data from the past. So when Jamie Dimon said, hey, listen, yeah, you should hold off on those rate cuts, maybe not even do them. Yeah, he was serious. I do not like, Jamie Dimon's stance on, Bitcoin. I think he should be quiet about Bitcoin. I think he should be quiet about crypto, especially since his company is doing something else other than what he says. But when it comes to money, when it comes to those kind of things, that's a very smart man. He knows what he's talking about, and he's got access to data that, not too many other people have. So when I sit back and I look at everything that's going on right now, I've got to say, yeah, I'm expecting a hawk. How is that going to affect the crypto space? People are going to panic. People are already panicking. Bitcoin has dipped. The whole cryptoverse has dipped preceding that meeting. It's already dipped. The reason why you're not seeing outflows from BlackRock, because Larry Fink decided we're not selling anything. They have more than enough money to cash people out, whatever it is they want to do, but they're not selling anything. They're like, nah, that's not happening. So if they're not selling anything, makes you wonder if they keep buying. And Grayscale keeps selling. Feel that downward pressure? So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Something that I wanted to alert you guys to as you do your own research. I've been seeing a lot of articles talking about, look at these 2 very well-known coins and look at how all of that's going on. So they'll say something like, what are the effects on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then some unknown coin, right? That's how they slide it in. They'll talk about known entities and then slide in something about some other entity that nobody knows about. There's a reason why nobody knows about it. It's about this big. So the news that you're delivering really isn't news. If you read the article, it's really not news. They're just using it as a guise to introduce another coin. And that's today's tidbit, is to be wary of anyone that's writing and producing articles like that. Pay attention to what's out there. Pay attention to the news that's going to affect your bag. One of my friends was like, hey, look, listen, I'm all about the XRP army, but I'm also out here trying to make some money off of everything. So he's staking his TIA. Because I had said, stay away from risky things right now. Like, don't play that leveraging degen game right now. That's not what I would do. I would want to hold my things close. The riskiest thing that I would do is staking. That's it. So I do some staking. So that's the riskiest thing that I would do is staking. Other than that, I'm not doing anything. I'm just hunkering down and buying on the dip. That's what I'm doing. And that's what my friend is doing. He's like, I'm staking some TIA. I've got some XRP. XRP is going to suffer for a little while, but they are on a kick to grow, retail adoption, grow end user adoption. So I'm interested to see how that plays out, because usually they've been toward, institutional investments and stellar XLM, which everybody seems to put down, but they're doing amazingly well. They seem to do more of the retail side, right? So I'm paying attention to that. What else is going on? Animoca Brands. I'm going to say this again, and I've said it a few times, but I want you guys to really pay attention to this. Everybody's a flipping rock star when the market is going up. Everybody's a rock star when the market's going up. What happens when the market goes down? When the market starts going down, then what? Then what are they saying? Oh, woe is me, da da da. Yeah. What have you been paying attention to? The market's been down for a long time. What have I always been paying attention to? I've been paying attention to infrastructure. I've been paying attention to, connective tissue, platforms upon which other platforms are built, projects upon which other projects are built. I've been paying attention to the communities out there for the various projects, what they're doing, what they're talking about. Those people are on their grind. They are on their grind. So I'm paying attention to that. So that way I can navigate up times and down times. During that whole downtime, what did I see? Infrastructure build out. Where do you think all these memes came from? Infrastructure build out. Platforms making it easier to develop on their project, on their layer 1, layer 2, making it easier for people to do that. Base coming out, Coinbase coming out with Base. Arbitrum, Optimism, Solana, Ethereum, even Polygon. All of them have been making inroads with regard to their infrastructure. So I've been paying attention to that. Then when I started looking at it more, I started looking at even long-term plays like Animoca Brands. Animoca Brands is looking at, 2 partnerships right now that they just closed to build in the integration of BLIF tokens into the Bitcoin ecosystem. What does that mean? Gaming on Bitcoin. I'm paying attention to a lot of different things that tell me what are the long-term effects. What do I think is going to happen long-term? Short-term, with some of my wallets, I play the short-term game. I might even play the mid-term game, but I'm really looking long-term. I've got wallets I've been holding for years. But that's what I'm paying attention to. So when I listen to the FOMC today, I'm just wondering, are you going to, I bought a little bit when? This morning. It was dirt 30. So I bought a little bit this morning and I'm waiting. I'm holding, ready to strike whether the FOMC, there has not been, that I recall, there has not been an FOMC meeting that's been positive, right? There have been a couple that maybe possible. No. But most of them, after that, after the conference, right? He gets up there at the podium and he starts talking. Usually after that, everything takes a dip. So I wait for the decision, see if there are any opportunities to make a move, and then I wait for him to open up his mouth. Why? Because everything takes a dip. At least from what I've seen. You guys might be able to correct me, but from what I've seen, for the most part, that's what happens. There's a dip after his little press conference, right? So I wait for that dip. No matter what my decision is over here, I wait for that dip. And then I wait to see what the market is doing. But on that dip, that's one of the junctures in which I buy. Because there's a dip. He creates that dip for me. Thank you very much. Right? And will it be a dip or a down decline? I don't care. I'm going to buy a little bit at that juncture, and I'm going to wait to see if it goes up or goes down. And I'll be watching for the rest of the day. I'll be watching for the rest of the week. That's what I'll be watching for. And then I listen to Wall Street. What is Wall Street doing? What's everybody else doing? I can see how Morgan Stanley could roll out to their 15,000 brokers and what those 15,000 brokers would say to their customers when they say, oh, you should get in on this Bitcoin spot ETF thing. Oh, but the market's down, blah, blah, blah. Exactly. That's why you should get in. See how that works? That's what I'm paying attention to these days. That's what I'm paying attention to. Of course, then you have CZ. He got 4 months. People are crying about it. And I'm like, they didn't see anything where he was actually doing anything. He wasn't laundering. And he was apologetic. So he's going to be the richest person to serve jail time in the United States, federal court, to be playing golf. His commissary will be huge. He will go for nothing. That 4 months, he'll do it spinning on his head. Not a problem. Not happy about it. Don't get me wrong. Not happy about it. But he'll do the 4 months. He'll come out and enjoy his $33+ billion. I think the sentence, so the deal was for 18 months. Then the government reneged on the deal and asked for 3 years. It's just timeline of events. Asked for 3 years. And the judge was like, you don't really have that much of a strong case. So yeah, he's going to get 4 months. He's going to get 4 months. I mean, yeah, what is it? 161 people, 161 entities write in on his behalf, and he's sorry, blah, 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 blah. That's great. But I think it sends a message to the government. The idea that you're going to give somebody a ridiculous amount of time to send a message. Who are you sending the message to? It wasn't CZ. CZ is going to be in there for a hot second. That'll be it. They were trying to use him as an example. How and why? Didn't have a strong enough case to do that. And I think it's a wake-up call to the government that you just can't bring a case and think that you're always going to win. 1, 2, that it's always going to be the way you want it to be, right? And that the sentence is going to wind up the way you want it to be as well. Bring a stronger case. And I think that DOJ, didn't have as strong a case as they had wanted. People are wagging their fingers at the DOJ. That's not who I wag my finger at. I wag my finger at the SEC. Right? If you enforce, but you also work with the industry, doesn't that make for a better industry? I know all Gary Gensler wants to do with crypto is enforce. It's great. What are you enforcing? This is why the cases on the SEC are very difficult, because you keep enforcing, but what are you enforcing? I'm just saying. There are a lot of things that I look at with regard to that, and I think a more pragmatic approach to, the governance of the crypto space is a very big deal. I really do think it's a big deal, and I think we should pay more attention to it. And I think that people working in those jobs should pay more attention to it, because right now we're on the path of sending people, sending companies, sending business, sending tax dollars out of the country. We're chasing them out. And I don't think that's what we should be doing. Which leads me to Roger Ver. Roger Ver, famous Bitcoin Cash guy. Got to pay your taxes, buddy. Gotta pay your taxes. Apparently, there's been a lot. The case that's being brought against him alleges that there were improper tax filings, that he's just done some things that are not good. So they've been tracking you, and they arrested you in Spain. Wow. If you want to leave the United States, you pay 20% of everything. Got that from my friend Bob Cornish over on LinkedIn. He's a big time attorney. And he's like, yeah, you got to pay your taxes. You want to leave? Go ahead, but you got to pay out. Okay. Apparently that's not what happened. So I'm going to be interested in following the Roger Ver case, not because he's going to affect my bag, but because it's going to give me insight on the legalities of it all, on what actually happened. Not everything I research has a direct impact on how I manage my bag, right? Doesn't necessarily have a direct impact, but it can have an indirect impact. And that's one of those things that I am paying attention to. I'm not going to leave my country, but I'm paying attention to what would happen if I did, which leads me to South Korea. If you were a South Korean citizen living in South Korea, you've got to pay South Korea taxes, right? Good. They want to know if you've got crypto held in other countries. Ooh. Yeah. They want to know. Don't lie. Because if you repatriate those funds, those assets, they're going to know. But they want to know if you're holding that so you can pay the appropriate taxes. Now, if you never repatriate, those assets and you use them elsewhere. But for me, I'm a guy that if I'm paying more in taxes, that means I'm making money. If I'm making money, then what do I have to be mad about? Now, the more money I make, I'm going to pay attention to how I file my taxes here in the United States, right? Most people don't do that. But anyway, you know what we should do? We should get into the numbers. So real quick, let's get there. Let's refresh this data screen. There you go. Let's refresh this real quick. Everything is on the downside. Everything is on the downside, right? Everything over here is down. Nothing you can say about that. Is what it is. We've down. That's big, 19%. Who else am I paying attention to? Stacks is down. They were just up a couple of days ago. Stacks is down 13%. I'll tell you this, though. If I think Bitcoin is going to wind up going up, I think Stacks is going to go up more. That's how I look at it. So Stacks is something that I pay attention to. This to me is a huge buying opportunity to me. 48% off its all-time high. I'm liking that. I'm liking the way that's shaping up. Pepe, if you're playing around with meme coins, 42% off its all-time high, down 11%. Brett, something new. I'm not into it, but I've heard a couple of people talk about it. I still have to dive in, but 62% off its all-time high. It's brand new. It's nothing old about it. Let's see, what else am I paying into? Sai is down 10%. Doge is down 9%. Toncoin is down 9%. Right? BSV is down 9%. Just things that I'm paying attention to. I'm just sitting back and I'm kind of going, yeah, those are opportunities. I'm not into Toncoin, but if you are, that looks to me like a huge buying opportunity. Same thing for Doge. If you're into Doge, that could be a huge buying opportunity. Look at that, 12 cents. That's big. Those are big opportunities. I mean, you'll be sitting around waiting for the market to return to that upward momentum, but you could see how it's going down. Is there anything on the upside? Nope, because my 5% rule. I don't pay attention to anything that's below 5%. Right? I pay attention to it only so I can see what it does the following day or what it did in the preceding day, but I really don't pay attention to it, unless it's a big move, because that can sway in a major fashion. That could sway either way. Right? So nobody's really doing well. Look at this, it's zeros. That means nobody's doing well. Everything's down, right? Let's take a look at this. Like I said, we have the FOMC meeting today. Then you have the conference. Excuse me. You have the Fear and Greed Index in neutral territory right now. It's a huge drop. Huge drop. TVL is down $10 billion. People are pulling out. People are pulling out. People are getting liquidated too. But here's the thing though. Like I said, overselling. Overselling is what I'm looking at. What else is going on? Look at this. You can see my blue band is from 57,686, to 63,714. We're below my blue band. That hasn't happened in a long time, in months. So that's a big deal. Again, to me, buying opportunity. That's all I see right now is buying opportunity. That's all I'm going to think of is buying opportunity. And the reason why I think so is because I'm sitting here watching infrastructure get built, watching adoption grow. So you put those things together, eventually things are going to go up. So I'm just sitting back and I'm saying, thank you for the buying opportunity because we're looking at numbers that I didn't think we'd see again. That's a very big deal. So yeah, I'm in on it. I'm all about it. All about it. Looking at the big board, you can see red, deep red all over the place. All over the place. But Shiba Inu, I'm going to tell you something about Shiba Inu. Actually, I didn't need to click it. Sorry about that, guys. But if I'm looking at Shiba Inu, here's what I found. Here's what I liked about Shiba Inu. It was down like 13 or something like that. It had been down below 10. It was at like 9. And I sat there and I was like, yeah, let me get some more. Ding, 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 ding. It's taking a hit right now, but it's maintaining a certain level. Why is it maintaining a certain level? How is it maintaining a certain level? It's because Shiba Inu is no longer a freaking meme coin. Pay attention to what's going on with Shiba Inu. Don't sleep on that. Toncoin being below $5. I'm not into Toncoin, but I am paying attention to those numbers. Being below $5 is huge because it has its own infrastructure. Toncoin is used on Telegram for real transactions on Telegram. And they're expecting that to grow. So to me, that could be a reason to buy Toncoin at this level. So yeah, I look at that. But look at how deep red a lot of these coins are. Deeply red. Bitcoin Cash is down. BTC, BNB, Near, Solana, Avalanche, Cardano, Arweave even. Link is down. Oh my God, Link. Yeah, infrastructure. Chainlink is one of those infrastructure plays that I pay attention to. So to me, this is all a huge buying opportunity. I sold some equipment yesterday, some computer equipment, because I happen to have extra Polycom video conferencing kits. You could tap me if you're interested in buying one, but I sold one yesterday, and that to me, that's found money. Somebody gave me theirs because they were upgrading to something else or whatever, and so I got a whole slew of them. Perfect operating, perfect condition. I was like, yes, thank you. I looked at that money as free money. I got in yesterday, so I got in a little bit higher than what it is today. So what am I waiting for? Exactly what I told you. I'm looking for the news to come out of the FOMC meeting. Then I'm looking for the conference. Then I'm going to watch the markets. And I'll buy at different junctures. Buying opportunity. This is what my dry powder is for. I've got my dollar cost averaging strategy. And this is what I use my additional money or dry powder for. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. What I greatly appreciate is if you have ideas on how I can make it better for you, please let me know. That really helps. And if you like what I'm doing, drop me a thanks, drop me a super sticker, say hello. More importantly, what I'd love for you to do is join the community so you can take part in the private members only live streams that happen every night at 8 p.m. Anyway, hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.